life can feel like a whirlwind of emotions. We often use terms like stress, anxiety, and worry interchangeably, but understanding their differences is crucial. It's like untangling knotted threads to see each one clearly. This understanding helps us better manage these feelings and seek help when needed. In this video, we'll delve into the distinct meanings of worry, stress, and anxiety, exploring their causes, manifestations, and how they affect us. We'll also touch upon the biological underpinnings of anxiety, shedding light on how our brains react. Finally, we'll emphasize the importance of recognizing chronic anxiety and offer guidance on seeking support. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding these emotions is the first step towards reclaiming control and finding peace. Let's begin to unravel these threads and gain a clearer picture of our mental well-being. It's time to stop feeling overwhelmed and start feeling empowered. Worry, a familiar visitor to the human mind, is characterized by a persistent focus on potential problems or threats. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head, replaying scenarios and imagining worst-case outcomes. It often revolves around specific issues, such as finances, relationships, or work deadlines. Imagine you have an important presentation tomorrow. Worry might manifest as constantly rehearsing your speech, fearing you'll forget your lines or the audience won't engage. Worry, however, is often short-term, fading once the anticipated event passes or the problem is resolved. It can even be constructive, prompting us to problem-solve and prepare. For instance, worrying about the presentation might motivate you to practice more, ultimately improving your performance. While sometimes uncomfortable, worry, in its typical form, is a normal part of the human experience. Stress is our body's response to external pressures and demands. These pressures, known as stressors, can stem from various sources: work overload, financial difficulties, relationship issues, or even positive changes like getting married or moving. Stress isn't always negative. Eustress, or positive stress, can be motivating, pushing us to perform better and rise to challenges. Think of the excitement and focus before a big game or presentation. This type of stress can enhance performance and creativity. On the other hand, distress, often what we associate with the word stress, arises when demands exceed our perceived ability to cope. Imagine facing constant work deadlines with no time for rest or relaxation. This can lead to physical symptoms like headaches, muscle tension, fatigue, digestive issues, and difficulty sleeping. Understanding the different types of stress and recognizing our individual responses is crucial for maintaining well-being. Anxiety is an internal alarm system warning us of potential threats. Unlike fear, which is a response to an immediate identifiable danger, anxiety is often future-oriented, triggered by perceived threats that may not be real or proportionate. Imagine feeling a sudden surge of dread and your heart racing in a crowded elevator, even though you know you're safe. These feelings, while irrational, are very real to the person experiencing them. Anxiety is characterized by excessive worry, fear, nervousness, and apprehension that persists over time, even in the absence of a direct threat. This chronic state of heightened alertness can manifest in various ways: physically, as increased heart rate, sweating, trembling, and difficulty breathing; emotionally, as restlessness, irritability, and difficulty concentrating; and behaviorally, as avoidance of certain situations or activities. Understanding the nature of anxiety, including its physical and emotional components, is crucial for effective management. The brain under siege. Understanding the biology of anxiety. To truly grasp anxiety, we must delve into the intricate workings of the brain. 3 key players are involved: the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and the vagus nerve. The amygdala, our brain's fear center, acts as a smoke detector, constantly scanning for potential threats. When it perceives danger, it triggers the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing the body for fight or flight. In individuals with anxiety, the amygdala is often overactive, interpreting neutral or ambiguous situations as threatening. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought, decision-making, and emotional regulation, usually helps to assess the threat and determine an appropriate response. However, in anxiety, the prefrontal cortex may be less effective at controlling the amygdala's fear response. The vagus nerve, a long cranial nerve connecting the brain to the body, plays a crucial role in regulating heart rate, breathing, and digestion. It acts as a brake on the stress response, promoting calmness and relaxation. In anxiety, the vagus nerve is often dysregulated, leading to an imbalance in the nervous system. Understanding this interplay of brain regions and the nervous system is key to developing effective strategies for managing anxiety. A personal encounter with the anxiety beast, my story. I still remember the first time I truly encountered the overwhelming force of anxiety. I was in a crowded shopping mall, Christmas carols playing softly in the background, the scent of cinnamon and pine filling the air. It should have been a joyous occasion, but instead a wave of dizziness washed over me. My heart pounded in my chest, my breath grew shallow, and my hands trembled uncontrollably. It felt like the walls were closing in, suffocating me. I was surrounded by people, yet I felt utterly alone, lost in a sea of faces. That day, I learned that anxiety doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, slowly creeping in until it takes your breath away. It was a terrifying experience, but it also marked the beginning of my journey to understand and manage my anxiety. Sharing personal stories helps to destigmatize mental health challenges and remind others that they are not alone. When worry becomes a way of life. Recognizing chronic anxiety. While occasional worry and stress are normal parts of life, persistent and excessive worry that interferes with daily functioning may signal an anxiety disorder. Chronic anxiety is characterized by persistent and excessive worry that feels uncontrollable. Unlike regular worry, which is often specific and short-lived, anxiety tends to be more generalized and pervasive, latching on to various aspects of life. This constant state of worry can manifest in a range of physical, emotional, and behavioral symptoms. Physically, you might experience muscle tension, headaches, fatigue, digestive issues, and difficulty sleeping. Emotionally, you might feel restless, irritable, on edge, and have difficulty concentrating. Behaviorally, you might avoid certain situations, engage in compulsive behaviors, or seek constant reassurance from others. If you recognize these signs in yourself or someone you know, it's essential to seek professional help. Anxiety disorders are treatable, and with the right support, you can regain control of your life. Embracing understanding, your first step towards peace. Understanding the nuances of worry, stress, and anxiety is not about adding labels but about empowering ourselves. Recognizing the unique ways these emotions manifest in our lives allows us to respond with compassion and seek appropriate support. Remember, experiencing anxiety doesn't mean you're weak or broken. It simply means your brain's alarm system is stuck in the on position, and like any malfunctioning system, it needs attention and care. Seeking professional help is not a sign of defeat but a courageous step towards healing. Therapists and counselors can provide valuable tools and strategies to manage anxiety, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness techniques, and relaxation exercises. Embrace understanding, seek support, and remember that you are not alone on this journey. There is hope, and healing is possible.
The information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health regimen.